Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. Today's program, we're talking Suffolk Parks and Recreation. You know, July is National Recreation and Parks Month, so let's spend time talking about what goes on here in the city of Suffolk, all the resources, activities, the opportunities that are out there, again, through our Parks and Rec department. And one of the events and opportunities they have coming up, the Suffolk Teen Summit, coming up very soon, late August. And we're going to highlight that event, talk to you about what's going to be going on, how you can get registered for both you and your teen. So again, a great opportunity here on today's program. Stay tuned. Welcome back to On the Scene. Joined now with two very special guests to talk about a very special event coming up in our city. Not the first time we've done this here. The Teen Summit, of course, is coordinated through the Suffolk Parks and Rec and the Suffolk Office on Youth. And to share all the great information about this year's event and tell you how you can get registered and, again, everything that's going to be taking place, we have our Director for Parks and Recreation, Lakita Watson. Lakita, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
And Rakita Fafana, who is the Youth Outreach Coordinator, again, with Suffolk Parks and Rec, specifically the Office on Youth. And again, thank you both. So we're talking about the Teen Summit. We've talked about this the last couple of years, but every year it's bigger, it's better, got some little different twists to it. So let's talk about what's going to be happening this year, where, and I know you've got really kind of three events rolled into one when you kind of break it down, correct?
Yes. Well, the Teen Summit, the Suffolk Teen Summit, is an expansion of the Suffolk Initiative on Youth, which is one of the action items out of the Office on Youth. And we are excited again this year to offer this opportunity not only for youth ages 11 to 18, but for their parents as well as facilitators that work with them, whether it's their church group or any nonprofit organization that works with youth. We invite their adults to come out too so that they can learn information about how to continue to strengthen the youth population in our wonderful community. So this year, our event will be on August the 27th at the Suffolk Center for the Cultural Arts, and it kicks off at 8 o'clock a.m. for registration and check-in, and then throughout that time frame from 8 to about 12, parents along with the students and the other facilitators will have the opportunity to be engaged in various opportunities for learning.
Right. Now, when you say that you have both youth and adults there, are they doing sessions together, or are we kind of separating? Because again, you know, the top subject matter, I know there's some crossover, and again, I know it's opening lines of communication and looking for those opportunities for the youth that are going to be there. How does that generally work for the event?
Well, we found that what works is we kind of do an opening session with everyone. Right. Let's get everyone excited, ready for the day, get the morning started. But then we found that it works best to separate them. We want to get the parents a chance to learn things about their kids without feeling pressured of the kids being there, and vice versa. Sure. We don't want the youth to feel like I can't talk about what's really happening because my mom is sitting over there listening. So we split them up and we do different sessions, even with the age groups. Sometimes the 11 to 14 may do something different than those older youth, simply because they're on a different level of learning.
Now, you talked about registration the morning of, and I know that's on site, but you're also looking to have people pre-register to attend this event. So how's that process going? How can people do that?
We prefer you to pre-register, in all due honesty, because that allows us the opportunity to properly plan. Right. And if you pre-register, you're also guaranteed to get an event T-shirt like the ones that we have on.
Very good.
And we change them every year, and we change the colors every year because we have a theme every year. And this year's theme is perseverance. So with that, you can go online to www.suffolkvaus.parks. And there you can follow to special events, Teen Summit, and you can right there go through and do the registration. You also can register at any of our joint use facilities that are connected to several of our Suffolk Public Schools, or you can come up to the main office and East Suffolk Recreation Center in Wellerville. So we're really pushing for pre-registration so that we're able to have good numbers, but we'll still take people the day of.
Now, talk about the day of. I mean, again, you know, everything kicks off with the registration. You talked about kind of bringing everybody together, and then everybody kind of, I'd say separates, but in the sense of kind of going to the target meetings and things that are going on. What is the day like? What makes up the day of the event? Because I know there's a lot of things going on.
We have several topics that we have, and we try to do topics that families are dealing with day to day. We try to give them various tools that they can use to help the household better, help them better in school, help them prepare for the future, whether it be the families preparing for college, whether it be the kids talking about finances or the next step with education. So we try to rotate them around. We don't want people to get in a room and feel stuck. So we have various sessions all throughout the building. So you may start on the first floor in a session that talks about College 101. And then later you may end up in another session upstairs that talks about bullying or talks about being resilient or having that perseverance that we're focusing on this year.
It's a fun day. It's very
It
exciting.
is.
We look forward to it every year. It starts early
Right.
for us on a Saturday. But once you get there, the energy, and when you see the number of people that come out, especially the families, and we encourage parents to not drop your kids off, but to actually come in and interact not only with the facilitators, but also with some of the Parks and Recreation staff, Office on Youth employees, so that we can continue to provide you with additional information that goes beyond just that day. And it's a lot of fun. We play music, we dance, we have a lot of giveaways. We have several businesses here in Suffolk that have committed to providing us with gift certificates, merchandise, and we're just excited. It's a great day.
And I know I have to ask this question. I think I already know the answer. The cost for the
Free.
people participate. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yes, it's a free program. We kick off actually on that Friday, Tim.
Right.
We're excited. We have what we call a block party. And it's like a pep rally. Am I right, Rakita?
Absolutely. And we actually have bands that come out and perform. We have people that sing. We have dance contests. But we also feed. We give out the T-shirts because on the day of the event, we don't want everybody to, once we start videoing and taking pictures.
Sure.
So we try to do all of that on Friday night, but we get everybody involved. We get them excited about what's going to happen on Saturday.
Now, where is Friday's, the kickoff? Where's that taking place?
That's going to be at the Constance-Worth Park behind the Suffolk Hilton Garden Inn.
And when does that start? And kind of what's the duration for that particular event?
It's actually from 6 to 9.
6 to 9. Okay. Now, do you need to pre-register for that, or is it just kind of come on?
And that's everybody.
That's open to
Okay.
anyone.
And not just our participants,
Sure.
like the 11 to 18, no, because what we found is that when parents come out to get the T-shirts or to register, they still have some little ones with them as well. So we prepare basically a family pep rally. So we have bounce houses, food. Usually a nonprofit organization actually does all the serving for us, and we distribute the T-shirts, and we also do additional registration based on the numbers that we have.
Very good. So again, that's taking place at the Hilton Garden Inn Riverfront, behind there in the park area we have there, Constance-Worth Park and Marina. And then Saturday, again, you move everything over to the Cultural Arts Center. But you think, okay, well, Friday night, we've got Saturday, but you're not done yet, correct?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we have an after party.
Okay.
Because as we share, we start off with the kickoff to get you excited about it. Then we have the day of where we get you energized and revived as it relates to the topics that we have, and then we close it out with an after party. And this year the after party will be at the Booker T. Washington Joint Use Facility right at the Recreation Center at 204 Walnut Street. And you actually would enter through the back of the building where the tennis courts are, and you'll see signage, and we're just excited. That way we close out, we dance, we have more food, and that's free as well. And it's for all the participants to come out, and we give out school supplies, and it just closes the event in such a positive manner.
Now, with the event Friday night, can people register then, or is that too late? Now, you talked about registration day of. I'm assuming if you're giving out the shirts, that might be a good opportunity if you waited that long to still get in, and at least you can still get those numbers straight for the next day, correct?
Yes. Correct.
Okay. Even though, again, we encourage everybody to do that ahead of time. You noted about the website, you know, the joint use facilities, or going to the Parks and Rec Administration office. Plenty of opportunities to do that. Now, if someone's watching this program and they think, you know, I heard what you said, it sounds like a great idea, have a couple questions. Who's the best person to talk to? And Rakita, I think it's going to be you with the smile right there. But if you want to give out your phone number so people know who they can contact.
Okay, yes. Anyone that's interested in more information can give us a call at our main office, and that's 757-514-7250. And any of us will be more than welcome to help them with any questions they have.
Now, I know for the actual event the day of on Saturday, it sounds like it's not going to just be you go in a room, you sit there, and you're talked to. You're it's a conversation.
It's very interactive, and that's what we encourage with our speakers and presenters. We let them know that we don't want the children or the adults to feel like they're back in the classroom setting, and we have been very fortunate to impact the individuals that are coming because we have awesome presenters.
Correct.
And when you go through those rooms, you can see the dialogue, you can see how the youth are actually engaged, and even some of the photos that we have as we're marketing the event, it makes us feel good to know that we have a lot of repeaters that come back every year. And so we're excited and think that parents and adults and youth just come out and have a good time.
Yeah. And you talked about the fact that people coming back, and that I think that goes to show it's not the same thing every year.
No.
You have different presenters, you have the program is put together differently. But again, so every year, and I'm sure you've had people that have come up through year 5, I believe.
Yes.
So, you know, 5th year there, but the fact that they've kind of grown and grown with the program as this has continued to develop itself.
Yes.
Very good. Now, okay, we just have a couple minutes left, but I want to give you both an opportunity to make I call it the sales pitch, but to let if somebody is sort of thinking about going, and this is both for the youth as well as for the adult that possibly is involved in that youth's life, to come out there and participate and be a part of this great event. Rakita, I'm going to start it out with you.
Okay.
So go ahead and make, what would you say to someone that's considering coming, just to get them to make that phone call, get online or whatever, or just simply show up, as the case would be?
I would have to start with saying that one of the big things that we try to do now with Parks and Recreation is we're life changers. So this event could be just that. We could have that information that makes the difference in the life of our young people, which for me, of course, is my main focus. That's what I look to do every single day. So this gives us a chance to do that. Give them some tools, some help, give them some outlets to get things out their chest, to help us help them. So this is one of those things where we can just make that difference.
Rakita?
As a parent of teenagers, as well as individual that my oldest is about to go off to college, and she's been a part of Teen Summit just as long as we've had it, and it is a positive opportunity for our young people and parents to get exposed to information that they possibly have not encountered before. And it's fun. So it's not just you're going there, we're going to read and preach to you, but as Rakita said, we believe in being life changers as Parks and Recreation professionals. And this is just one other opportunity that we invite the entire community to come out and learn something. When you know better, you do better.
Very true. Well, ladies, thank you for talking about the Teen Summit again coming up August 27th.
Yes.
Got my date right there on that. And of course, plenty of activities going on, not just that day, but also the night before. Again, the kickoff event over there at the Hilton Garden Inn Riverfront, Constance Wharf Park and Marina. Big event there to go. So even if you're not attending the next day, which of course we know you're going to want to once you watch the program, and again, you may get tapped into something Friday night and said, look, I'm going to be there the next day. Hey, great opportunity there. But again, the Teen Summit coming up right here in the city of Suffolk, courtesy Parks and Recreation and all their great staff. Something to look forward to. And we'll have more on the scene to look forward to right after this break. Welcome back to On the Scene. Lakita Watson is going to stay around with us for one more segment, talk about a very important topic. And as the Director of Parks and Recreation, you are probably the most knowledgeable person to cover this. And July is actually Parks and Recreation Month, a nationally recognized month.
Yes.
And again, it's perfect time with summer here and all the things that are going on. But this year, a little bit of a theme this year, which I know you have a theme every year, but it's the superpower of Parks and Recreation.
Yes.
So what is the superpower of Parks and Recreation
The
for
ability,
Suffolk?
well, for Suffolk, what we believe and what we've found with Parks and Recreation is that we are, as we shared with you earlier in the first segment, we are life changers. We believe that in Parks and Recreation, we offer opportunities no matter what age, what race, what economical background that you come from, that Parks and Recreation is open to all. And you have so many opportunities, whether it's health and wellness, learning new skills, mentoring, coaching. That's how we are, what we believe, we show our superhero powers through that.
Now, when people think Suffolk Parks and Recreation, I mean, I certainly would think your department has touched people's lives in a multitude of ways. So someone may have just had a young person part of the basketball program. Someone may have just, well, maybe I'm a member over at Whaleyville, the community center there, or recreation center, or East Suffolk or whatever. But I don't think they realize everything that Parks and Recreation does, and kind of how your department tentacles out, if you will, throughout the city. Talk about the department and some of the things people may not be aware that y'all do.
Well, the department has grown over the number of years that I've been here. I've been there since 1994, and I've been the director since 2003. And the department has grown from having one recreation center, which used to be the Birdsong Recreation Center, to now having multiple joint use facilities, as well as the 2 freestanding facilities, and we're about to start on a 3rd one. So beyond just even the recreation buildings and programs, we have several parks. We just opened up the Suffolk Seaboard Coastline Trail last year, and we're even looking at expanding what we do through arts and culture at the Suffolk Art Gallery, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize, that that's what we do. We also are very involved as it relates to the environment. So our department oversees all of the landscaping for all the city buildings. That includes downtown and even in the gateway corridors as you come into the city.
Right.
We just started a therapeutic recreation program, and I know that Mayor Bell was here with you last time.
Right.
And it offers the opportunity for individuals that may need special accommodations, whether psychological or physical, to still participate in parks and recreation. So, Tim, I really am proud of what we've been able to do, from the Office on Youth to the new canoe and kayak launch at Sleepy Hole. There's something for everybody to do in the city of Suffolk. So it is sometimes frustrating when people say there's nothing to do, but there is. So we want to make sure that we're getting the message out better, that we are reaching out to areas that we haven't before, so that citizens understand, hey, there is a dog park
Right.
at Lake Mead. There is an opportunity for me to take a walk through a trail that is also at Lake Mead, Bennis Creek, and Sleepy Hole. There's a community garden at the East Suffolk Recreation Center. So as you said, we're a little bit everywhere, from North Suffolk all the way to the Wellerville Community Center.
And I think you talked about it, access to all the things you talked about. I mean, it's really simple. I mean, your website, I know, has a lot of information there, always evolving, changing. So again, if you want to know what's going on in the city, that's a great place to start.
Yes.
Because it's not just the static, that, well, yes, we have a park, we have a recreation center, but it's all the things going on there, from movies in the park. I mean, you do the extravaganza. I mean, those are things you think, well, the city does that, but you don't realize Parks and Recreation is the department that's spearheading that. TGIF concerts, we're in the midst of that. I don't know, I slipped my mind, but I'll send it dinged in there. But the 4th of July Stars and Stripes Spectacular. These are all things that fall under Parks and Recreation. But again, it's a way to utilize the resources we have to provide opportunities to people in all kinds of different ways, different ages. You talk about the senior programs as well that you offer through your recreation centers. Everything for the youth, because you have before and after school care when school is in. You have summer camps, which again, those have really mushroomed out over the years. To where, again, if you want something to do for yourself, for your children, for your parents or whatever, Parks and Recreation certainly has a lot of variety and things to offer.
Yes, we have something for everyone, I always say. And it's so important for us to be active. You know, we are in a time now where it's so easy for ourselves, you know, people our age, to fall backwards and not be as active. And we recognize that that's not good for long-term health. And the same thing for our young people. So we want to be that change agent, the department that offers those opportunities where you may not have thought about working out. We have certified fitness specialists at both of the facilities. So I'm excited about the future of Parks and Recreation. We're about to embark upon an aquatics facility feasibility study, because as a part of our master plan, it was brought to our attention by our citizens that we do need to look at investing in an aquatics facility some way, somehow, so that citizens have access not just to the one pool at Cypress Park and Pool during the season, but year-round, because we're surrounded by water. And I'm so thankful for the many businesses and individuals that donated several hundreds of dollars for young people to take swim lessons this year. So I can go on and on about our superhero powers, because I was an individual that grew up in Suffolk Parks and Recreation. I played basketball, and I remember my coach, and I remember the experiences that I had. All of my children have went through Parks and Recreation. We even oversee through the Office on Youth the Summer Work Success Program, which trains young people to get better job readiness skills, so that once they graduate from high school or from college, they are more marketable in the workforce. So we believe in lifelong learning. So you hear the words Parks and Recreation, but there's so much in that and.
Yes. And I think you hit the nail on the head earlier when you talked about the fact of changing people's lives. I mean, just everything you ran through right there talked about the fact of how many ways, again, you can touch people's lives, whether it's just simple health, whether it's just being active both physically and mentally, because again, that's all kind of fits in together, or just the fact of giving people something fun to do.
Yes.
And again, you know, certainly a cheerier attitude, a brighter attitude on things, you know, you can achieve so much more.
Yes.
And I think that's achieving things and giving people the opportunities and the resources to do that and to have personal growth, I think is really what y'all do and really tap into. We start talking about July being recognized as, you know, National Parks and Recreation Month. You have a contest connected to that, a way to kind of get people to show maybe what they're doing with Suffolk Parks and Recreation. Let you talk a little bit about that.
Yes, this is a spinoff from the National Recreation and Parks Association, which we are members of in Suffolk Parks and Rec. And every year in July we have been celebrating. So this year I wanted to do something that speaks to the times as well. If you are part of social media, whether it is Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, you are taking photos. It's a selfie nation.
Yes, it is.
So with that being said, this year we're going to offer or sponsor a selfie contest. So with each week, we're asking for our citizens to go out, take those selfies, and there's a theme for each week. So the first week from July 4th until the 10th is a selfie with nature. So if you're out there at Bennett's Creek, Sleepy Hole, or Ida Easter, Cypress Park, we want you to take a picture of yourself with nature. Not just yourself, you want to add your family, friends, that's cool as well. And hashtag that. As well as on the July 11th through 17th is selfie doing something healthy. Whether you're running, or you're out walking the trail, or you're actually working out in one of our facilities. Then from July 18th through the 24th, a selfie with your friends and community, because that's what Parks and Recreation does. It brings people together. And that last week, July 25th through the 31st, is a selfie showing your superhero side. So whether you feel that what you're doing with the young people in the community, if you're a mentor and you feel like that's a superhero power, if you're working out in the garden, that's a superhero power. If you are out taking art classes, that's a superhero power, because you're utilizing your skills and your talent, but you're also doing that in a Parks and Recreation leisure manner. So we're asking people, and I'm sure you're going to post this up,
Yes,
and that hashtag is hashtag SuperParkSelfie.
Okay.
And everyone that gets the most likes each week,
Okay.
we will award them with prizes
Good.
that actually goes along with whatever that theme was.
Perfect.
And there are specific rules, so if you visit our website, you can go there and see the official rules for this contest. I'm really excited. I might do a couple of selfies myself.
We'll look forward to that. But again, another way to kind of, like you said, connect with people on a different level that maybe pulls them into a program or an experience or something they've not had before. Not to say with social media, but it's more about the fact of just getting them connected to the resources that you guys are able to offer.
Yes.
All right.
So we're excited.
Well, again, July, a big month here in the city of Suffolk, always is, summertime, but again, Parks and Recreation is doing their part to go above and beyond, to show those superpowers and show the super work that the staff and everyone does with Parks and Recreation to make Suffolk a fun place to be, a place where you can learn and grow, and where you can just really become a better person and a better Suffolkian all at the same time.
Yes.
Well, Lakita, again, thank you for your time, and thank you and your staff for everything you do to help make this city the great place that it is.
Thank you so much, Tim, for having me.
Appreciate it. That does it for this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time.